Good morning, and thank you for joining us here today. And thank you to the amazing jazz trio of Tom Van Setters on piano, Andreas Wegner on bass, and John Gunther on drums, who kindly played the music to set the tone this morning. My name is Garth Roselaw, and I'm a member of the legislature for Vermilion, Lloydminster, Wainwright. And I'd like to begin by acknowledging the Winspear sits on Treaty 6 territory, a traditional meeting grounds, gathering place, and traveling route for the Cree, the Saulteaux, the Blackfoot, the Métis, the Dene, and the Nakota Sioux. This land also has deep importance to the Métis people of Alberta. It is my pleasure to welcome our guests for this special occasion, the Honorable Tanya Furr, Minister of Arts, Culture, and Status of Women, Anne-Marie Petrov, President and CEO of Francis Winspear Center for Music, Darren Jordan, Winspear Board Member and founder of the Five Arts, One Love Art Collective, and Joe Telchik and Andrew Bromberg, the visionary architects behind the Winspear's next phase. Each of you have played an important role in bringing the dream of a revitalized Winspear to life, and your partnership brings us here today for an exciting announcement. I would now like to welcome the Honorable Tanya Furr, Minister of Arts, Culture, and Status of Women.
Hello, everyone, and thank you to my friend and colleague, MLA Garth Roswell, for that introduction. It is a joy to be here at the Winspear Center, a cornerstone of Edmonton's arts and culture landscape for nearly 3 decades. The Winspear is a remarkable space for Albertans to come together for world-class concerts, brilliant symphony performances, family events, and community gatherings. It is also an important space to experience arts and culture and to create unique learning opportunities. Our government has been a proud partner of the Winspear for decades, and we continue that support today. I'm honored to announce that as part of Budget 2024, if passed, Alberta's government is committing $12.8 million over 3 years, starting next year, to the Winspear Center to help support the 3rd phase of their renovation and expansion project. This funding will help the Winspear expand their space to include a 550-seat acoustic performance venue, indoor and outdoor community gathering spaces, and multi-purpose music studios and classrooms. This expansion will increase accessibility to arts performances and education for children and families, and draw even more visitors to experience amazing music in a world-class venue. The new state-of-the-art customizable stage will allow for community groups of all shapes and sizes to get theater seating built right for their audience's needs. New classrooms mean that more students and young people from across the capital region can access after-school and evening programs, helping build a lifelong love for music and learning skills that help them no matter where their life takes them. And this funding will help expand the Winspear as a cultural hub that will help solidify Alberta as an arts and culture destination of Canada and North America. It will also provide local jobs and boost Edmonton's downtown economy. The expansion is expected to create more than 240 jobs during construction, as well as approximately 100 jobs once it's complete. And once completed, it will attract more tourists to the area that will add an estimated $4.5 million to Alberta's economy in the first year. It is vital that we support our province's cultural sectors, including our screen-based sectors, the performing arts, visual arts, opera, ballet, book publishing, and more. In 2021, these cultural industries injected $2.7 billion into Alberta's economy and sustained over 19,300 jobs. Beyond the economic benefit, this project means more Albertans will have the opportunity to discover and participate in the arts and cultural opportunities that our province has to provide. And I look forward to seeing the art and creativity that will grow in this space. Because when we build better communities, we make Alberta the best place to live, work, and raise a family. And as Anne-Marie and I were talking about beforehand, you know, how blessed I am to have this Ministry of Arts, Culture, and Status of Women, because what arts and culture does is it humanizes us. It humanizes us, it brings us together, it builds community. So thank you all for being here this morning. To Anne-Marie Petrov, the Winspear Center Board, the generous donors, thank you for enriching our lives with arts and culture opportunities. I look forward to the magnificent music that will soon fill these spaces and seeing the performances that will grace the stage, inspiring Albertans for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Furr. We are grateful for your support of arts, culture, and heritage and community spaces in our province, and for championing the important role that play in the lives of all Albertans. I would now like to invite Anne-Marie Petrov, President and CEO of Winspear Center, to say a few words.
Thank you, MLA Rosewell. Well, to say the least, it's an exciting day for us today. Thank you, Minister. I too welcome everyone to the Winspear as we embark upon the next stage of our wonderful Winspear expansion project, Phase 3, right here in the heart of Edmonton's Arts District. I'm deeply proud to serve as the President and CEO of the Winspear Center at this moment in time. As many of you know, the Winspear expansion has been ongoing since 2019 when we broke ground, and we are thrilled with the progress made and the opportunities this new space will bring to our city. I thank our partners in this project, the province of Alberta, the city of Edmonton, and the government of Canada for their generous support to help make this dream a reality. Let me express my deepest gratitude to the Honourable Tanya for being here today and for the province's generous funding. This new commitment of $12.8 million will make a huge impact on this transformation. Minister, I recognize that Budget 2024 is a responsible plan for a growing province, and with today's announcement, our government recognized not only the priorities of food, shelter, and all the necessities of life, but as Minister first said, also the government recognizes the need for arts, culture, and those things that give meaning to life. I want to add how much your support will contribute to revitalizing this essential part of Edmonton's downtown and also allow us to make the Winspear Center truly a world-class center for everyone, where many more Albertans will have the opportunity to connect and enjoy the many different kinds of music that they love. We look forward to working together with your office over the next 4 years. I know there were a couple introductions made, but I want to recognize 2 more people that I know are in the crowd today, because projects like this don't happen with the volunteers in our community. And the volunteers for the Winspear Center is our very, very hardworking board of directors. So I'd like to recognize our current board members, and you've heard that Darren Jordan is a member of our board, but also I want to recognize Robin Hurd. And most importantly, I want to recognize our past chair, who's also had a significant hand in the current construction of the Winspear Center, and I want to recognize Jim Carter. Decades ago, Dr. Francis Winspear imagined the Winspear as a true cultural hub where everyone could gather to play, enjoy, and share music. But budget constraints at that time reduced the size of the building. So what we did is we made sure that we maintained the quality of the building, but we did have to contract a little bit, both at the front and at the back of the building. And then what remained was a parking lot. The Winspear expansion this expansion completes the dream that Dr. Francis Winspear had. His vision was of a Winspear that not only served the community, but was integrated into it. And that is a pillar of this new work that we're doing now. The new WinSphere will be a hub for Edmonton's arts community with over 50,000 square feet of new space designed for everyone, from elite performers to amateur musicians, from the young musicians in our Yona program, that is the Youth Orchestra of Northern Alberta Sistema, to our talented rusty musicians. Now, when I say talented rusty musicians, I mean, these are not the musicians of the orchestra, but these are musicians, amateurs in the community who also have played instruments throughout their lives and continue to play them. They may be doctors, they may be teachers, they may be housekeepers, but they still play instruments, and they play alongside our musicians from the orchestra on the stage, and hence we fondly and lovingly call them the rusty musicians. I needed a point of clarification. The new WinSphere will offer an attraction right in our city's downtown with immersive experiences, gathering places, and many more performance opportunities in the new 550-seat performance hall that the minister recognized that we will be calling the Music Box. This expansion project was made possible not only with the support of governments of Alberta, Canada, and the City of Edmonton, but with additional funds from very generous donors and dedicated supporters in our community. And I might add, I know that there are more commitments to come. We're thrilled to see their vision come to life. Some of these individual supporters were gracious enough to join us today, and we thank them from the bottom of our hearts. Like so many other organizations, the pandemic posed serious challenges for the completion of the WinSphere project as we were well in construction and left us with a significant gap in funding. With this new support from the province for this phase 3 and the unwavering support of our donors and community, we're building momentum to enter the final stages of our expanded WinSphere. We are confident that nothing else exists quite like this new and revitalized WinSphere, and we're thrilled to welcome you to see inside of our building and to see the progress later this afternoon or later this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne-Marie, and I can't wait to see and hear what the new phase of the WinSphere Center will bring. You obviously have great passion for this building, and it comes through. I would now like to invite Darren Jordan, WinSphere board member, and 5 Artists One Love Arts Collective founder, up to speak.
Good afternoon, everybody. What a pleasure it is to be here. Mr. Firth, thank you. Thank you, everybody that took the time to come out today. As mentioned, my name is Darren Jordan. I am the founder of 5 Artists One Love. What is 5 Artists One Love? Well, give me a moment. I'm going to tell you all about it. 5 Artists One Love is an annual multidisciplinary art show and a music production that started in 2007. So at 16 years, it's one of Edmonton's longest running and most anticipated Black History Month events. It celebrates, it honors the creativity and the vibrancy of the cultural diversity within Edmonton's Black communities. And Edmonton is the focus. It needs to be said, Black History Month is in February, is the coldest, shortest month of the year. And let me tell you, we need something to warm our souls at that time, and 5 Artists One Love is hopefully filling that spot. It's been described as something that resembles a party at the UN, and is comprised of 3 events. Those events are, number 1, an art exhibit at the AGA at the Art Gallery, the Alberta Art Gallery of Art, runs from January to April. There's an exclusive one-night gala at that gallery, and there is an exhilarating, immersive musical experience at the WinSphere for the last 3 years. We've had a long journey. We've been to a number of other places when we first started out, but we ended up at the WinSphere, and this is where we've been for the last 3 years, and we're very happy about that. 5 Artists One Love was born out of necessity. You see, as a younger Black visual artist, I didn't see any representation of people in my community in the galleries in the city. I learned that many people in my community felt that there was no place for them in the more established creative spaces. It made sense. They didn't see themselves or their experiences reflected in any scene out there. So my mantra became, if there is no scene, if you can't find a scene, then make a scene. And we got started. We started small at first. It was a very small gallery that we started in on 124th called the 2 Gallery. Does anybody know Dutch's Bakery? Okay, it's that building. Best macarons and the best bread pudding you've ever tasted. It's true. The music venues that we followed, that we used afterwards, included the Yardbird Suite, the Ledcor Theatre at the AGA's community space, the Citadel, and finally Grant McEwen's Trifo Theatre, which was our home for a few years, and it was wonderful. But I have to tell you, in my heart, I had my sight set on the Winspear. I didn't think it would happen for a very long time. I was almost like a hockey player, a young hockey player having his sights set on the NHL. I don't know. I don't play hockey. But I know that a brother can dream. And so that's what we did. We dreamt. We dreamt that it would happen, and it did. I mean, imagine what it would be like to be in a place like this where you could feel the energy in a space that echoes the music from people like John Legend, who was here, Wynton Marsalis, and even Edmonton's own ESO. We developed this wonderful multicultural fan base throughout that was along the ride, along with this, sharing with these, as we had these soulful collaborations. We did everything from spoken word, R&B, opera, strings, hip hop, soul, and Motown, and so much more. And these performances resonated with our city, and people came and they watched and they enjoyed, and they became joyous celebrations of culture and community that would spill out into the night long after the show was done. It was one evening where Anne-Marie showed up after one of our shows, and everybody was in the back room, and they just randomly started singing a Boys to Men song, End of the Road. I don't know if you know that, but it was everybody, choirs, volunteers, all types of people singing. And I remember Anne-Marie walked in at that moment. I don't know, maybe she liked the song. I don't know, maybe she liked the vibe, but we got an invitation to join the Winspear, and we've been here for the last 3 years. So a big thank you to you as an absolute game changer. And everybody that has been participating in the show has felt blessed. We've done 3 shows here at the Winspear. Every show that we do has a theme, and hopefully it touches people's hearts. The first time we got back, we had just returned from COVID. Everybody had been locked down, and we were one of the first big shows to be in the Winspear, and definitely the first big show in our Black community to do anything. And what we did was we basically played the songs that helped people get through that pandemic. That was what the celebration was. The next one was in June, and we did something that had not been done before. We celebrated a holiday called Juneteenth. Has anybody heard of this before? Yeah. So we had done that. It commemorated the end of slavery in North America, but we also made the connection with Alberta, because there's a unique story that connects us to that particular holiday, and we did that. The last one that we did was called The Joyful Noise, and we basically just celebrated joy. We just felt that the world was at a point where we needed to just sing and enjoy each other's company, and that's what we did with that. I just want to say this new expansion means a lot to myself, to organizations like ours. It gives opportunities for people to have access to a space that is world-renowned, a world-class space that will change the narrative for a lot of these new and up-and-coming organizations. I have so much, but I'm gonna skip ahead because time. But what I want to do is just share the last point that I have. This expansion means a lot for our children, a lot for our children. And what I mean by that is that we get to show them excellence in a space like this, excellence being created by people that look like them. And that is important. It is essential because inclusion begins with representation. So I cannot wait to see this amazing expansion. And I want to say thank you to everybody that is a part of it and is supporting it. We hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Darren, and congratulations on achieving your dream. And I wish you all the best success going forward. You're a real get-her-done kind of guy, so well done. And thank you to everyone. That ends the speaking part of our announcement. I will now turn the mic over to Garrett Kohler, Ministry Press Secretary, for a question and answer session. After that, I will invite you to have a tour of the building and the new construction. So we'll turn it over to Garrett.
Thank you very much, Minister. Back up to the podium. Thank you. We'll go to the lines. There's no one on the lines I see. Is there any questions from the floor? We have one question. Please state your name, outlet, and one question, one follow-up.
Hi there, Jacqueline Cusi, Global News. So when this project was initially announced, it was the budget or the full funding, the full amount for it was $65.6 million. I know that's been delayed a little bit. What's the total amount that this project is going to cost?
Yeah, so let me follow up with you on total costs when we get all the funding in from, or the amounts from the federal government and city as well. Our contribution for the provincial government of Alberta for this phase 3 is $12.8 million over 3 years, starting next year, providing that budget 2024 is approved.
Great, thank you. No, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, any more questions from the floor? All right, name, outlet, one question, one follow-up.
Joëlle Bouchard, Radio-Canada. My question is can you say a bit more about why choosing the Winspear Center extension to invest that much? Because there's a lot of projects in the city, for example, or in the province. So yeah, a bit more about the why.
Yeah, thanks for that question. You're right. There's a lot of amazing projects to choose from. And I think what was so amazing about the Winspear is what the funds were going to be used for. It's not only the amazing 550-seat acoustic theater, but it's their focus on having more community spaces, community programs, classrooms, educational opportunities, their focus on making it an open, inclusive environment for everyone, their focus, as you know, Darren was talking about, the importance of bringing more children and kids into art. Like anything else, the earlier you're exposed to something, the sooner you can develop a love for it. And our government wants that to include arts and culture. And it's amazing for the economy as well, the amount of pre and post construction jobs and what it means not only for local Edmontonians and surrounding area, but what it means for the boost in tourism and visitors to a world-class facility like this.
Thank you for my follow-up. Yes, I'd just like to take this chance to ask if any of the speakers speak French. Okay.
Anne-Marie, do you? Okay.
Oui. Si je peux...
J'espère que je peux me débarrasser. Oui.
Débrouiller.
Oui, débrouiller.
Mais en fait, si vous pouvez simplement faire un petit résumé de l'annonce en français, puis qu'est-ce que ça signifie pour vous, ce serait très bien.
Je vais faire mon possible.
Merci.
C'est que aujourd'hui, l'annonce, c'est qu'il y a à peu 12,8 millions de dollars de la province d'Alberta qui sont donnés à notre projet de l'expansion. Je ne sais pas comment dire ça en français, mais en tout cas, le troisième phase. Tu vois, est-ce que je parle français, mais moi, pour moi, dans les affaires, c'est un peu compliqué. En tout cas. OK, sure. Mais, sure. OK, perfect. Ben, la raison pourquoi c'est important, c'est que c'est un projet in the heart of downtown of Edmonton, and whereas we have been a magnificent performing arts center for that's at a world-class level, which is outstanding, not just in Edmonton, not just in Alberta, not just in Canada, but in North America, one of the premier performing arts facilities. The challenge we've always found is that we're not open to the public during the day. And we know that there's so much interest and desire to learn music. And that's why this is so important. And that's why we're so grateful to the province to also share in this vision of making music accessible to the community, literally building community through this project.
Merci, thank you.
Bon, bienvenue. C'était pas en français, mais quand même.
Visible for everyone then. Thank you.
We have time for one more question. Are there any other questions from the floor? Name and outlet, and one question, one follow-up, please.
Hi, Christina O'Loughlin with City News. So as you were saying that you have the funding for the next 3 years for phase 3, is there a date that you guys have in mind for grand opening or when the completion will be completed?
Yeah, I believe it's summer 2025, correct, Anne Marie? Anne Marie, summer 2025 is when we're projecting completion.
Probably 20, sorry.
We're looking at the 25-26 year. We're aiming for 2025, but it depends on some of the other levels of government and other contributions fulfilling the gap. So that's why this is so significant for us today.
Right. Well, with that, one big round of applause for the Winspear Center. Thank you very much for coming. And we're going to go back to our wonderful jazz trio.